Hello, hello, hello.
Man,
Like, hello, good evening, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
ତମ ସାର୍ କଥା ହଉଛ ନାଇଁ
Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome everybody in the house. Okay. So,
Good evening, sir.
good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so कौन है? बहुत सारे अपने बंदे लग रहे हैं. ठीक है, we have Shenu.
Good evening, sir.
Sakshi. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Drishti, Pradeep, Sagar. Okay. Nikhil. Good evening. all. Okay, ठीक है, चलो guys. So it's already 9:04 and we'll be getting started. Okay. So yes, it's going to be a quick 5-day workshop which will be acting like a lot of inputs. Basically, it will be useful for people who are wanting to know the do's and the don'ts of the IT industry. Okay. So first of all, if you're already working in a corporate industry right now, it is going to be very useful for all you guys, especially in the beginning time, because this guidance comes after a lot of struggle in the industry, and then use cases, true, what to do, what not to do, then response of the people after a lot of things. Okay. So anybody who is already working in the IT industry, it's going to be a huge value for all of them. And on the other hand, even for job seekers, the point is key, if you are already getting into interviews also after getting this maturity that you will be getting here, okay, so that will speak a lot about who you are as an overall person. Okay. So just technically being good is not sufficient for having a very successful career, and it's a thumb rule. Okay. So I have as you grow in your career, these things will become more natural. The technical will become one part of who you are. Okay. So people would like to have good technical person, but along with that there are many other qualities, and overall person is hired. Okay. And we are going to break down every of these things, so as part of this all the program, and there are a lot of things happening in the IT industry, so we have tried to simplify it to the best possible extent as part of this 5-day workshop. And okay, we'll not spend much time in going in detail about the breakup, because each and every session will anyways happen. But as part of today's topic, we are going to touch base with like what kind of personality you should have while you are in the IT industry. Okay. Or any industry for say. I think we are just taking IT as an example, but we are not going to get into very detailed about IT. It's general person what you should be. Okay. So today we will be speaking about what is the personality that you should have in order to have a great IT career. Then tomorrow we'll get into very like on a day-to-day basis how you should perform in the industry. Then third is going to be, okay, there will be phases coming in people's life. Okay, not everybody always on the high peaks of their careers. Okay, there will be ups, there will be downs as well. I've seen it for many people, I have gone through it as well. So there will be high times when you are getting massive results, there will be times when you are low on performance, there will be reasons for that. So when that happens, how the industry reacts and how you should react in order to overcome those things, because it's a very tough phase and people don't discuss about it. So I think that will be very useful. So we have taken a session for that, and then there is a corporate politics happening, so we even try to cover that area as well. And yes, overall career planning. So this is how it's going to be a 5-day total workshop. Okay, fine. Now getting started with today, like what's the core personality, what kind of a person you should be for having a great career. Okay. And IT is just one example. It is required for like any professional person, how it should be. Today we are going to discuss that. Okay. While I was working on this entire workshop, so yesterday like weekend I sat for a few hours and trying to put all the thoughts, and bahut kuch mila. Okay. There were so many things to discuss, and we were like, it's not possible to really give all of that because it will just become topic. Okay. We want ki something which is must and should, the toppest value. We learned this technique, most important wala. So I started focusing on something which is very significant, which should be must and should in everybody, and we'll convert it into some areas where we can even work on that. Okay. So I've tried to put it into that angle. And chalo, then let's get started with the personality things. Okay. Now, there are primary three things which you need to care about in order to be the person who will like win the IT industry. Okay. The first one is you need to have the right way of thinking and approaching your project, your people. So the right mindset should be there if you're navigating in the IT industry. Many people have corrupted mindset. What is that? We'll discuss it in detail. But yes, first one is you need to have the right approach for problem solving, for dealing with people, for dealing with circumstances. And that right approach will come only after the right mindset. So we are going to take that as the first important pillar of your mindset. Okay. Now the second pillar is your communication. Okay. Let me tell you, without communication, you will not be having a very successful career, no matter technically how good you are. Okay. And after coming remote, communication has become one very key ingredient for expressing out. Okay. Even if you have a lot of knowledge but you are not able to convey that to the person in front of you, that it's a communication problem. Okay. So we need to really work on that. Otherwise, if opposite person does not get what you are, they will never create further opportunities for you. Okay, so we need to understand really. So that's the second pillar. So we are going to speak about the communication layer. It's very much required. And I have been so much successful in my career, like 40-member team in 8-9 years of experience. From there itself, I started having 30 members. So baki ke 10 log to baad mein add hue. So it's because I am a combination of both, technically also good, that maturity plus communication also good. And then I created such certain circumstances around me. So wo sari cheeze will be there. Okay. Fine. So now that's the second pillar. So one is how you approach the IT industry. That's your mindset. The second one is how you are communicating in the industry, and you can create opportunities with that. You can grow, you can get promotions, you can do a lot of stuff with that if you have the right direction. Okay. And the third thing is, apart from your technical skills, okay, what other things you should already start working on right from the day one when you're in the industry. Okay, all the three are very important. So technical is one. We have to always have an like skill set upgradation. We should always be good in problem solving and thinking, reasoning. But other than that technical, what other things are must and should, so that a combination of all these three, the person you become, that will give a lot of huge value in future. Okay. So all these three areas we are going to discuss about as part of today's session. Okay. Mindset, your communication, and the overall professionalism. How do you achieve overall professionalism? That's the third area. Okay. Chalo, ek ek karke we will be getting started now with the thing. Dekho, one thing, doesn't matter what kind of life you have lived so far, who are the people which you have interacted with in the past, your family, your friends, your college circle, maybe in your previous company. Okay. You need to know ki you internally will realize okay, there is something right, there is something wrong. Okay. And if you are wasting your time, if you are doing things which is not really good for the system, you automatically know that you're not doing right, or you're not justifying your role. Okay. So you will find two kind of people in the IT industry. It could be in your circle, in your team, anywhere. Okay. One will be those, they have started taking their job for granted. Okay, and you need to be very careful who you interact with, who you make your friends with. It's very important. Okay. One people will be, they have started taking their jobs for granted, and that means they are not ready to put efforts. They are not ready to like be dedicated. They always think in the negative angle. Why should I work hard? Nothing will happen. Opportunities will not come. It's okay. Monthly salary is coming. Then why do you work so much hard? Annually, 1 year appraisal happens. Bonuses will not be there because of COVID. Many promotions were stopped because of COVID. Hikes were stopped and layoffs were happening. So all these negative oriented people will be there. That is one section of people. Okay. Now, point is, all those things might be facts. But the thing is, if you think about like that in the IT industry, it's going to, you will not be able to grab opportunities, because when you see only negativity in every circumstances, you will never convert it into a possibility. Okay. So one will be such kind of people who will always like, they have taken a job for granted. It's like it's just a Monday to Friday 10 to 7 job for them, and they just go there for the sake of working. Okay. And such people will be pushed like, okay, do this, like after that this, and I go, IT may you will find all sorts of people. Okay, IT is a very generous industry, so it will not keep throwing everybody out of the system also, right? And such people are also entertained. They are also going to be there in some company. But what happened is, I was discussing in one of our HR from Amazon. He was saying ki every year we remove the bottom 20% non-performers out from the company and we hire some best 20% from the other side. Okay, nothing but all such people who are not really growing, complaining, excuse giving, all these belong in the bottom junk of any company. And whenever layoffs or anything happens, these will be the first crowd to be cleaned away. Okay, we don't know when it is going to happen, but it will happen someday. So we should never be in the bottom of an organization. That's a very bad place to be in. Okay, and so that is the first thing. You will find people who have started taking their job for granted. They start thinking money to comes anyways, whether you work or not, then why to really put efforts? Okay, second is okay, muting. Okay, so one is that kind of, these kind of people. Okay, and the other thing is they give so much value to entertainment and fun and like weekends traveling and all that. Okay, they completely stop focusing about their career growth. Okay, so be very careful about such people also. Yes, we have come up from our college, but you will find people, so don't become that much mad about, because maybe like, okay, Saturday Sunday off hai, paisa hai in the bank account, chalo, let's go here, let's go there. So that excitement will be there, but be very careful. That should not put you in a trap. People start having entertainment and enjoyment so much more that they stop caring about their career growth. So be very careful. First of all, you should not become these people, and you should never hang out with such people. Okay, it's like, you might have seen this example, right? One rotten apple will spoil the entire basket. Okay, one rotten apple. So if, yeah, so if you just hang out with such people, okay, if you just hang out with such people over a period of time, we know this as part of a life transformation, whether you want it or not, you will start thinking like that. So be very careful. Okay, don't involve in any discussions of any kind of negative things. Okay, opportunities are not there, they are not giving it to us, why should we work hard? वो लोगों से पूरा अलग रहना है. And then opposite mindset has to be acquired. Okay, and देखो guys, I have practically seen results with my life just with this thing कि you need to put efforts regardless what the outer circumstances are rewarding you or not. Hard work, smart work, dedication, in the end only these things will be paying off in a long run game. Short term hacks will always be there, but when you see like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years career, only your dedication, consistency, involvement with the system is going to make you somebody. Okay, and these things will come from inside you. Nobody can come and tell you. Let me tell this another truth of industry. Okay, I have been leading a 40-member team. Okay, a lot of things. Will everybody 40 members, will all the 40 members become successful? Or like, let's say a team of 10 people, random 10 people, will everybody become successful? No. Generally, like, everybody in the IT industry will not become that successful. There will be always some set of people who would be extraordinary, and they will climb up the ladder, will get more opportunities, more promotions. There will be always handful of people. Okay, and rest other things will be just gone here and there. Okay, I want to tell you ki a few years ago we applied this strategy ki every person can be categorized into 4 categories, labeling A, B, C, D. Okay, now somebody is A, that means he's a superstar. Now you have to evaluate where do you belong. Okay, somebody who he's A, it's a superstar. Matlab, he will go beyond everything. You, whether you tell him or not what to do, what not to do, he will just go beyond everything. He's like massively committed. वो अपना काम भी करेगा, बाकी लोगों का भी करेगा, project को भी he will take care. Whenever something crashes, he will jump that also. He will never complain but do everything for the project. That is the A category people. Some, like, these are the gems of the industry. You will not find them very easily. Okay. Now there will be other B category people who are really good. Okay, they are not like A level, but they are really good at what they do, and you want such people in the system. Without them, the system will start collapsing. Okay, that's the second category people. Really good, you want them in the system. Without them, the system will start collapsing. Then there is third category people. They are like, okay, manager gives them some instructions. Okay, this is your project, this is how you should work, and they just do only that. Meeting expectation. Now many people in the IT industry is like, if I have met expectations, so like give me more. Guys, meeting expectation is average. Okay, meeting expectation, like, why I will not give very extraordinary expectations to somebody. I'll give only those expectations by which the project should keep running smoothly. So that is the C category people. They are working good, they are working to the project requirement, but they are just meeting expectation. They are not doing anything great, and whether they are there in the system or whether they are not there in the system, it does not even matter. That's the third category. They are meeting expectations, but their existence does not matter. You remove them from the project and still the system runs. Okay, now you need to understand, where do we belong? And there will be fourth category of people. It's like better to remove them from the system. Okay, now you need to start thinking, okay, where do we belong? And if you are a fresher, you should already think like, once I get in the company, where should I belong? Okay, first of all, you should not be like, isko nikal ke bahar fek do, system mein acha banda milega. You should never be the D person. Okay. Now second, if you're not really careful about your life, you will end up becoming a C. Meeting expectation. There is a project, give me a requirement, I work for the project, nothing more, nothing less, it's fine. Okay, C category. Paisa milega, everything will be there, but C category people. Now these C category people will not be rewarded with very great money, will not be rewarded with promotions. He just met the expectation, and this is where the employees of the IT industry get confused. Ki, if I'm meeting expectation, then why am I not getting rewarded nicely? You tell me what to do, I'll do. Great people are not like that. They create things. They do beyond what is expected, and nobody needs to tell them what they need to do. Okay, so write this thing down. Where do you want to belong? A is extraordinary. These are like gems of the industry. ढूंढोगे तो भी नहीं मिलेंगे मार्केट में, ऐसे बंदे होते हैं. But there are such people. In my team, I have such people. ठीक है. So A category people, superstars. You like उनके पैर पकड़ लो, पर जाने नहीं देना इन लोगों को. So they are A players of the game. ठीक है. B is, they are needed for the system. Without them, the system will fall apart. Okay, and यहाँ पे guys, we are not talking about politics. कि with politics you be that person के उसको निकाल नहीं सकते. That not the dirty way, a genuine way. Become that valuable for the system, that contributive, that giving, that sharing. कि if you are not there, the system can actually collapse. Okay. And you need to, okay, we'll talk more about that. Let's not go out of the topic. Okay. The third category people is just meeting expectations. The manager says something, this guy develops it, and whether he's there in the system or not there in the system does not really matter. And the fourth one is, better these people get removed from the system. Now the thing is, if the IT looks at people like this, I don't know whether everybody looks at it, but yes, in my experience and some people which I know, I've summarized this. We look at the people from that angle. Okay. Now, simple questions: who will get better packages? Who will get better promotions? Who will get better opportunities? Right? We will start from the A's. We'll give it to the B's. A's and the B's will always be taking away all of these things. Okay, the person who works average, he will be always average rewarded. He should not even expect more. He should be average rewarded. What is average reward? 8% hike, 7% hike, 6% hike, 5% hike. They are like inflation balance kar rahe, because whether he's there in the system, not there in the system, will replace, will get another person. That's fine. So IT is very fair and square there. You're not that great, we remove you, somebody else comes, he does the same job, so what's the big deal? And then why should you even expect more, right? But if you are a B, without you, the system will be affected. IT will reward. And if you are a A, the IT will be like, भाई छोड़ के मत जा हमको कभी. Right? It's that dependency. And like these are good people. They are not like political people ki, no, I have to create my roots here, ki nobody should remove me from the system. I'll not train everybody. I'll take all the work on myself. Not such people. I have seen that these kind of people who have been at bigger position, they were also fired. Who thinks like this, I need to create all the dependency on me so that if I am removed, the system will be affected. Negativity will always be punished in a long run. Always remember that. You should be genuine, you should be helpful, you should be careful. So that's the first thing. You need to install this mindset right from day one. Try to be A and a B category person throughout your life. Doesn't matter what experience level you are into. Never a C, never a D. Okay. And now comes in the market, there will be such, in the IT industry, there will be such people who are average. They are like misguided, entertainment biased. Like, why should I work? Negative. Be away from that, and then try to be the opposite person of that, who belongs in the A and the B category. Okay. And what's that mindset of the A and the B? Ki, regardless of what happens, I am ready to put massive efforts, as hardworking as possible. Okay, like jitna chahe, whatever it is, whether you ask it or not, I will still do it. It doesn't need monitoring. If you are working from home, you're so self-responsible that you don't need somebody to call you, ping you to check your status. You will work by default. This is what is the mindset required. Okay, you don't wait for external monitoring. You define your own work. You give your 100% at whatever you do, and you take ownership of your job. Now, this statement, you should live directly for your customer. Just write this down. Live directly for your customer. The person for which you are building the product, always think from their perspective. You will not put any shabby work in such cases. Okay, so think from the point of view of customer. And it's like, if you are doing something bad, directly the end customer is affected. And if you do something good, directly. So if you really start thinking like this, then management, your company, your leads, nothing will matter for you. It's like, I have to develop my best product, because this code is directly go and run to the live customer, and I don't want them to suffer. If you think like this, your mind actually evolves like anything. I'll tell you, I was in one project, and in that situation, there was a very some client was very demanding client. Okay, and everybody in the team was always scared that no matter how much good we work, that client always does this, always does that. But I was always on a very comfortable pace with him. The reason being, I used to think the same key which that client is expecting. And what does the client want? The product that we develop should not be buggy. It should be the best product. It should think like out of the box, serving the customer. But you need to put yourself in the shoes of your customers and then build the application. You need to think, if the product that you use is your own product, if it is your company, your product, and if it fails, it's your failure. If it succeeds, it's your success. You need to take your mind towards that level of ownership. Only then you can build something great. If you are working just for the sake of completing office hours, or for your leads or your managers or your whoever's or your clients, if you work for them, you will never be able to do some great things with your lives. So build applications, write code, considering whatever I do, if straight away a customer sees it, he should be satisfied. And if there is problem in this, it's my problem. If there is success in this, it's my success. So that's the mindset that you need to acquire. Okay. So the takeaways of this is, already think to be the A and the B player category, and you should go beyond the expectation, because IT will not even expect you ki ye kar lo mere liye aake. But there will be some people who will by choice do that. And those people who by choice put efforts and grow big, they get more opportunities. It's a market where a person having 2 years experience gets 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs package also. And the same person having 2 years experience might get 1 lakh, 2 lakh package also. The market is that big. 2 years of experience having 15 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs. Different. Abhi market और भी देने लग गया है. But same 2 years experience having like 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. That's the big difference. So that means who will get this rewarded is the people that you become. So install the right mindset. That's the first learn. Okay. Abhi whether you're there or not there, you have to now get into your analysis mode of how do I take extra ownership more than what my project expects from me. Okay, when you start thinking like that, life will start changing. More ideas will come. You will start reaching to your managers. Okay, oh, I have done with all this now. What more? Okay, think about improving the project. Right? Functional completion is one. Think about standards. Okay, how better standards we can implement in the system. Think about training the other people of the team so that they can also perform to the best of their ability. The best coding practices, the best design practices, be it DB, be it the architecture side. Okay, the best deployment structures, maybe like auto scalable systems, like microservices. Like, let's try to improve the system in terms of what it is right now, not just functional completion of work. So if you really want to create more, you can actually follow all these other things. One is build the system just functionally, give it to the customer. Another one is build it with the right industry practices. And then apply all of those practices while you're building it. And once you have mastered it, then comes the next level. You take your team along with it and even give them the guidance to do that. So tab kya ho jata hai? Rich quality of work will happen. So, and all this, nobody will tell you. It comes by choice. If you want to do, step up to the occasion and just do it. Okay, nobody will tell you कि भाई develop the best standards. It comes by passion for some people naturally. Okay, some people को आएगा भी नहीं. It's like कर लिए ना functionally, क्या बड़ी बात है. It's like चलो. So this is where I want really you dig, you create, and there is a big scope of if you really want to do things. Okay, so that is the first thing. Now the second funda, communication. Okay, so there are three things. So mindset wala clear, right? You need to be A and the B player. Whether others tell you to do something or not, you have to go, you have to grab, and you have to always evolve the system. Do something for yourself, do something for your team. Then only growth happens. If you're only focusing on my growth, people will take away opportunities from you. Okay. It has to be your growth plus your team's growth, your project growth. If all three align in parallel, then more opportunities will come. Selfish logo ke liye this world is not there. Okay. All the three things has to grow in parallel, then something will happen. Okay, fine. Now let's come to the other side of the thing, the communication layer. Okay, you need to really master three areas for communications. Okay, one is how you are seen. Okay, nothing but like, are you neat, clean, or ganda feeling are if people are interacting with you, right? So you need to be decent. Okay, people should feel like coming and talking to you. Okay, ऐसे नहीं कि बस नींद से उठ के बैठ गए and like lack of energy. People should feel like, अरे wow, let's go and talk to the people. So how you physically appear, that matters. Okay, you should be clean, you should be decent, you should have a smile on your face, you should be jolly at work. Okay, your hair, your everything, like your clothes that you wear. Okay, care about it. Okay, one thing I came across this example, this was really beautiful. Ki, let's say if you purchase, if I want to gift you something, okay, let's say I purchased a wristwatch, okay, and I want to gift it to you. Kya karenge? With a nice box, with proper wrapping paper, gift wraps and all that, with stickers and all, we'll give it to you, right? And what happens is, watch is a watch, but this wrapping enhances the value of the watch. Many times what happens is the receiver, they feel कि अरे यार ये रैपर को फाड़ते भी नहीं है यार, इसको बहुत अच्छे से ओपन करके will keep the wrapping. It's because you value that packaging. If I just give you the watch like that, you'll be like, हाँ, watch मिल गई. But there is a value of the packaging, so you should understand It's psychologically implanted in human minds. If you also gift wrap yourself, the world will look at you with respect. अच्छे कपड़े पहनो, okay, neat, clean, nice, pressed, okay, the body language, keep your spine erect while walking, smart, shoulders back, look good, okay, nice and clean, मतलब बाल भी एकदम अच्छे से करके look good, people will respect you naturally. It's in human psychology. They will value you whether you speak anything or not. They will be like, oh, तौसिफ आ गया. Okay, your presence will be felt just by who you are, the way you carry yourself. Okay, and IT industry में such things matter a lot, because you have to represent in front of your clients on a day-to-day basis, in front of maybe cross-team managers and all. So one is start caring about how do you present yourself. Okay, and neat, clean, nice body physique is very important. Carry yourself with energy, it's very important. When you talk smart, talk to the point. वो आएगा with practice, but telling it so that you start caring about it. Okay, so that is one. Abhi right now many things might be happening, like remote. Some companies are asking it to open the video, some are not asking, but whatever, but thoda sa maintenance karna shuru karo. Okay, how do you look? That's one. Now the second important thing, ki IT will expect you to talk a lot in the entire project cycle, right from the requirement phase till the time delivery phase. There will be a lot of interactions happening. So if you have hesitation, okay, what should I speak, what will people think, that's not going to work at all in the industry. You have to tell. Okay, let's say right from the requirement part, the customer comes, gives you a requirement, there is a grooming session happening. So as part of that, the requirements will be discussed with you. But nervousness will not help. I cannot talk, it will not work out. You need to understand, okay, it is like college time ka mindset, right? It will not work. Simple. I am asking you a question, you should think and respond to me so that I will know whether I am right or wrong. This is how the conversation happens. It's a day-to-day communication. Okay, we want to build that application. Now what is the problem with that? And it's a discussion always. And if you stick with this mindset, or I cannot talk, what will I tell? Like, it will not work in IT industry. You're trying to build a project. The project needs discussions. You have to tell, you have to express your views, you have to express what you think. So it's, the game is beyond your nervousness, at completely beyond your nervousness. Okay, and that does not even matter whether you're nervous or not, because that will not work in the industry. You have to share your views. Maybe when you're a beginner, but you need to have some opinions, be it right or wrong. Mind should think something, you should tell something. That matters. That's the whole deal. Okay, because when the grooming happens, the entry of a project, then it will be said, okay, are you clear? What are the problems with this? Then you have to tell that, okay, these are the problems. I feel this can be done in a better manner. Why is this like this? It's a communication. So guys, forget about whether you can speak or not, whether you're nervous or not nervous. You need to start approaching situation ki, okay, given a problem, understand what that is and share your understanding back. You cannot live with I cannot speak wala mindset. It will not work. It will break very soon. Okay, so you need to already change your approach ki bhai, okay, understand it, share your understanding, be it as casual as possible. Okay, it has to be a discussion based thing. Many times in interview, have a discussions. Okay, so this is what it is about communication ki you need to have conversations, you need to think, you need to understand, you need to respond. And majorly for the juniors, okay, or freshers, they get nervous or panicked, like what to say, what not to say. Be just calm and just talk it out. Right or wrong will automatically, you'll get maturity, you'll become right, but don't hold your ideas only to yourself. Ask questions, speak it out. You need it at the time of grooming or refining session. Next, when the approach is being finalized, if you're trying to code, if that problem is coming, you have to tell to other people about problems. Okay, this is another learning of communication mein hi aayega yahan pe ki don't think that you are supposed to alone solve all your problems in industry. Try to solve. If it is taking a lot of time, feel free, reach out to other people. Okay, I tried all these things, still it's not working, can you guide me? There also communication is happening, you're explaining it to people. If you are nervous, if you say like what people will think, it will not work out. So be open. I'm doing this, it is not working, I tried all this, now what should I do? So again, like, you have to be communicative, it has to be a discussion based thing, and that will be your daily activity from morning till evening. You have to talk, explain and stuff like that, and this is your day-to-day communication, not like one-time activity. Okay, next, estimations. Let's say you're given a task, you have to convince your other peers that you are going to take 3 days. If you tell me it's going to take 3 days, immediately question comes, why do you need 3 days? Now you should be able to talk to me and convince me that this is why you feel it's going to be 3 days. It's not like a lucky draw में 3 दिन निकला में 3 करके देखते हैं, नहीं हुआ तो we'll do 4. It doesn't work, right? So that means if now you want to convince your other peers why it should take that much time in estimation, so you have to be good in communication. This is how it will start working. So you have to really be good in that, because it's a day-to-day conversation. And now there will be special, like morning stand-ups will be there. We are working in agile and sprints, so there will be morning stand-ups. There you have to communicate. It's a part of our life. Right now we are communicating, we are talking to each other, we are listening to one another. You have to do that. That's life. अगर नहीं आएगा बोलोगे तो that's life basically. You have to talk. Otherwise क्या करोगे? Like guesswork नहीं कर सकते, right? We cannot do that. Now on top of this, there will be some special moments, like giving demos to the client. Okay, some presentations will be there. Sometimes you would have to represent your team maybe on a different forum, or maybe in front of your entire company. Some event might be there you might have to represent your technology or some work which you guys have done. These are big events which will come in your life. So day-to-day communication is one. On top of that, this big time communication will also be there. Now we have to, the more good you are in all of these things, the more opportunities will come for you. So if you're not good in it, start working on that. Okay, how do you start? What is the starting point? Simple hota hai, guys. Simply start by reading anything. Read a book, read a newspaper. Just low every day morning, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, book le lo koi to acha wala. Stand in front of mirror and start repeating. Practice will make you better. If you don't start, you will stay the same, and it will take a lot of time to overcome this fear. So take a book, stand in front of mirror every day in the morning, minimum 15 minutes, just read. Whenever you get wrong, stop there, again read it from the beginning and start putting the statements properly. It should start sounding meaning to yourself. Broken words, try to, guys, point is, that's the beauty of taking actions. The more you take actions, okay, whether you're right or wrong, but if you do that on a daily basis, you will start finding, oh, I'm going wrong here, and whatever you're saying, try to make sense whether you're able to listen back or not. So that is the starting point by which you can start speaking. Baki, there will be books, there will be strategies, there will be a lot of things, but if you don't start acting, you will not master it. So if you're feeling hesitated, if you're feeling like you fall short of words what to do, start with simple, koi acha book le lo, not novel and all that. Take something which is like empowering book, which will help you to grow in your thinking as well. Take one powerful book and start reading that book every single day, 15 minutes, by standing in front of camera or mirror anywhere. Okay, repeat that daily. The more you do it, the better it is going to become. Like do it 2-3 times a day, you will start finding it more better. You do it 1 time a day, it will take more time accordingly. You do it once a week, तो फिर तो भूल ही जाओ. So that's where the problem is. Okay, so you have to increase the frequency. Now while you do that, your voice confidence will rise, the way you tell your words will become better, and धीरे धीरे वो सब चीजें will automatically start happening. You will find in a matter of 1 month, you will get a confidence that, hey, I can speak. If you do it daily, 2-3 times, or even 1 time for 1 month, but with confidence, things will start happening for you. So ऐसे खाली like stand in front of your mirror, lock the door and speak loudly. जोर से बात करो. Read it nicely. If you're stuck anywhere, start again. Try to see whether you are able to understand the meaning of the sentence properly or not. Okay? By that way, your verbal communication will improve. So the step number 1 is your physical appearance. Your step number 2 is your verbal communication. Just practice this For 1 month, verbally you will be able to communicate nicely, and know that you should not even think whether I can speak or not, because that's not the game which is happening in IT. It's like you have to tell, and it has to be a discussion. I give you a problem, you think, you tell me the solution. So whether you speak or not, that does not matter at all. You have to speak. That's the default assumed thing. Otherwise, how will you be able to convey your thoughts to me? You might be a genius, but if you cannot tell me what I should do when I am in struggle, so your genius is then limited to only yourself. Okay, so apply this second for improving your verbal communication. And it comes like on your day-to-day conversation, plus in terms of these big events, you started giving demos and presentations and meetings and all that. You have to lead the meetings, and that is also needing some kind of communication. But ek ek karke, now you understand where you are and what you're good at, what is your working area, and then start improving in that. Okay, now the third part comes in communication is written communication. It is also very important. So verbal is very important because you talk. Written is also very important because you write. We write emails, we write chats to people. Okay, that's our daily job. Daily you type something, like you're typing messages, exchanging messages. At work also it happens. You write emails where you summarize maybe the MOM, what we discussed in this meeting, what is the plan. You have to maybe put some documents at work. This is the last project which we did, this is the technical document for that. So you need to even have a lot of writing skills also. Okay, now, and you need to work for that, because at least when you're trying to verbally communicate, if you go wrong, you will still can repeat it and try to explain again. But written communication is one time written and dropped in email. Sometimes what happens is, if you don't write properly, the same message might have two meanings. You thought something, you wrote accordingly, but if the words are not put properly, the meanings can change. Okay, and I experienced this once for myself. I dropped an email to somebody, like long time ago story. I dropped it to somebody, and somebody came like in a very angry mode to me, and he said, "Ke Tausif, how can you do this?" And I was like, "Isko kya ho gaya? Abhi tak to everything was good." And then I went to that email, and then I read it again, from thinking that person's perspective. I thought something else, I wrote in a different manner, but he read it in a different manner, and he felt as if I am demanding him to finish something, but I was like requesting wala mode tha. But the thing is, if my words are not proper, he interpreted it differently. Okay, so writing skills also need some things. It will come by practice, but that is where I think our social media exercise of life transmission, posting it frequently, writing blogs, it will start helping. And it should not be emails should be very big emails. Nobody reads big emails, nobody reads big chats. Okay, it has to be precise, to the point. 2 paragraphs email, maximum 2 paragraphs, or maximum 3 paragraphs generally, and that to like 2-3 lines per paragraph, to the point, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, that's it. Zyada drag karunge, it loses its value. People like start ignoring then emails or messages as well. To be to the point, precise, and start working on your writing skills. Okay, and how it is like same thing, maybe again it's all, you can come up with your own techniques of practicing. Let's say any question like, okay, what is the advantage of like using microservice in your application? Rather than speaking it, write 3-4 lines, just write it down. Okay, and see whether whatever you wanted to say, are you able to convey the meaning to the other person? Okay, so you can just take this exercise, instead of verbally explaining same thing, you take some 15 minutes daily to write it down. So that means you can create your own system of like growing in all these areas. 15 minutes of verbal, 15 minutes of written. Do that daily for next 1 month. You will start finding improvement will automatically come, because you're a human system. You will grow automatically. You will learn from your own mistakes. Okay, so that's the second area, communication. Okay, so first wala have the right mindset, be belong into the A and the B category people. They are like needed for the system. Without them, the system will collapse, it will fall down. Next, work on your communication, all the 3 areas. How do you appear, how do you verbally speak, and how do you write? All the 3 forms are important. बोल रहा बहुत अच्छा है, मेल के अंदर कचरा, rubbish in mail, Doesn't make sense, because you have to at times summarize, you have to put mails. Okay, let's say you have arranged a meeting. By the end of the meeting, whatever conclusion came, you need to put that into words and drop an email to everybody. Okay, this is what we concluded, this is our understanding, we are building the application forward. So this will be your day-to-day activities. So you need to work on that as well. Okay, be it even if you are at a fresher level, but once we start with all these things, it will work out. Okay, now one more point to add for communication. Okay, all these are basic pieces of it. There is something bigger than this. Okay, communication majorly means being on the same page. Matlab, whatever I am thinking, you should also be on the same page. So if I say ki 21st of February 9 p.m. there has to be a session available, so you should also know that ki same hone wala hai. Many times what happens is discussion happens something else, I assume something else, you assume something else. When I develop it, you are like, what did you do? When people are on a different page because they understood it differently. Okay, so more important with communication is giving that transparency. Okay, how do we work in our project? Because people can misinterpret it. Everybody is open for misinterpretation. It's not like my fault or his fault. It's like I told something, he did not understand the same thing. That's communication problem. Okay, how do we do is we have a structure in our team. Okay, so daily stand up happens, we have some conclusions as part of that, there are all those discussions, and on a daily basis, even though we have given written confirmations ki what we are going to do, what is the progress of the project, but still on a daily basis we have a client call also, where we explain to the client that this is what we are working upon right now, verbally as well, and we keep doing that on a daily basis. So this, I don't think whether it's happening on every project, but at least in my project we have applied this key on daily basis. We have a 15 minutes client call. So every day of the sprint, the way internal team stand-ups happen, we also have a business client call where we keep updating them on a daily progress. Okay, why? Because even though maybe yesterday they interpreted something wrong with our communication, tomorrow we correct it again. Okay, so the more frequent we try to explain, so that we should always be on the same page. Now what is the problem if people are not on same page? Okay, so one important thing, if I tell we are going to develop this thing and it will be done, let's say by so and so date, end of February. Okay, now understand where the problem happens. Okay, so let's say today is 21st of Feb and we gave an estimate by 28th of February this project is going to finish. If we give this estimation, okay, now a lot of things might happen. If I just tell it today and then just disappear, client is going to expect it to come on 28th, because you gave that word. Now it is counting acha 28 ke liye aur 7 din baki hai, and now once you bring it back then I'll do it. Okay, but the thing is, let's say something else happens while this 7 days were progressing, any dependencies, blah blah blah, because of which you will not be able to finish it on time. Okay, now many teams, many managers, they are like, oh, we told already 28 to them, we cannot push it a bit, this dependency, chalo, let's work late night and do it, let's do this, let's do that. There is another way. Be transparent and open. So that's where we do a daily by daily updates to the client to tell them whether we will be able to still meet up their project on 28th or not. And any day we find okay, no, it's not possible because of dependencies, this, that, we tell it there itself, okay, hey, we told you 28, but it doesn't look possible, maybe it might extend 2 more days. So if you keep communicating, okay, they will accordingly plan. Oh, to now Tausif is saying maybe 2 more days, so 2nd of March tak chala jayega. And because of that, they will consider that in their planning. But if you don't give this regular updates to your customers or clients, they will want it to be on the same day because they have further given a commitment to somebody. Okay, 28th ko tech team will give us this, then we will do that. But last moment you come and say, hey, no, it's not ready, it will take 2-3 more days, then they are like, because somebody else is expecting from them also. So that's what, it's a chain of communication. And if you don't play your role properly, the entire chain breaks. So always be on the same page, whatever, whether it's happening, not happening, be transparent and tell it upfront. Okay. Now I remember this when I started one project. One of my clients, they said, okay, okay, Tosif, even if you are going to not meet the timelines, I am okay with that. But tell me at least 1 week in advance, not on the last moment. These were the words which came from the client itself. Before I was starting the project, they said, Ki, bhai, we are okay even if you are not giving me, but don't tell me last moment ki it's not ready. Give me 1 week in advance ki we will not be able to do it. We are fine with that. Okay. And this is where with estimations, delivery, and the ETAs, all this problem is happening because people are not opening up, assuming ke kya ho jayega, what blunder might happen if I tell ke we are not able to do. They go self-created problems. If they start thinking, if I not do, what will they think? They will think that I am not good, I am not able to solve. It's a self-created problem. Doesn't matter. IT does not care about it. If it's not happening, just tell us it's not happening. We will take care. But you take 2 more days, but finish it. This is how IT thinks. Okay, they are not like itna अरे क्या कर दिया तू नहीं कर पा रहा है. It's like 2 दिन ज़्यादा but करके दे दे. Okay, after 2 days give it to me. ठीक है, don't keep pushing it. 2 days now becomes 3 days. Give me a new plan, new date, but make it happen. You need any inputs from me, I'll give you the required help. Everybody is trying to do the project. Nobody is trying to bully each other. Okay, they are not trying to do that. Everybody is trying to work on the project. So this is what, be transparent in your communication and be on the same page. So that's the next learning, and in your life also this is required. Okay, so never go on off the page. That's a very big problem. Chalo, that's the second area. And okay, all these things you might be like, ye to simple hai, this is just common sense, but it's not happening in the industry. Okay, many projects suffer and struggle a lot because of ETAs, because of deadlines, because they are not able to properly pitch it up in advance, whether it will happen or not happen, and that causes a lot of problems. Last moment, nobody likes surprises, right? So that's what is the second area. Now the third side. Okay, third is ki over and all professional. Okay, so now there are many things here. One is, yes, your technical skills and all that is done, but you will realize, okay, IT industry, the one of the quality which you should have as a person, whether you are in industry or not, is integrity. Integrity is nothing but kind of honesty. If you say something, then you should stand up to your word. Okay, and that is very important quality which many people are not having. That's the sad reality of society. Okay, they say something else but they do something else. Okay, you need to get to a point ki if you are not going to do it, tell that you are not going to do it. Be the blame come on you, and if be transparent and honest. That's include this quality in your life, being integrity and like honesty. If something is going to happen, you tell it is going to happen. If it is not going to happen, tell it's not going to happen. Okay, so that's a very important quality which people are struggling in industry. Okay, now thoda sa work on that, it's really required. I'll tell you a recent example where I came across. It was from a different team. Okay, ऐसे ऐसे फंडे चलते हैं, ठीक है. Okay, remote environment is happening, and in this remote environment एक बंदा सुबह morning time पे stand up was there, and that person was sleeping. ठीक है, he did not wake up. सोते रहा morning में, ठीक है. And after coming online, okay, he did not even drop message to his team members. Okay, so this happened in one of my friends company. ऐसे बात कर रहे थे, he said वो बंदा, he was sleeping in the monitor, he forget about stand up, and then later अरे stand up gone, and after waking up he did not even drop message to somebody. Okay, now what happened is some senior person dropped him a message asking कि भाई are you working today? Okay, and ये बंदा बोला yes I'm working, and just to justify his situation, he said कि yes I missed the stand up, but I reached to my team member, I spoke with my team members for the update. But this, yeah, he did not actually do it. Such situations will come, right? You are like two hours done at work, you did not reach out, so he just lied there on the spot to that senior manager. He said yes I reached out later, I missed the morning stand up, but I reached out later. Okay, what this morning manager did, he dropped this senior person, he dropped message to that other team member, did that guy reach in touch with you, did he discuss with you? And he said he did not. Okay, Abhi, now what can that person say? He has to face the consequences. Okay, the senior manager simply said ki bhai, we have to escalate this matter to HRs, and because if you can just do such small lie, if you tell the same thing in our projects, it's going to be screwed, and maybe HR might even fire you for this thing, this simple incident, because it's a matter of integrity. It's a matter, if you're saying something, I'm not able to trust you anymore. And that's what it is. The trust will be broken. Your words will not matter. That's integrity. So you need to have that integrity. If you tell something, you stand up to it. Don't lie to people. Don't tell this, do that. Okay, people will not trust you if you are that kind of a person. And if you cannot be trusted, there is no future. Okay, so you need to be trusted, and for trusted, it will come only when you're honest and standing up to your words. Otherwise, people will just go away. You will not be able to grow in your career. So that's the first quality, have that. Okay. Second quality, punctuality. बचपन से सीखे, be punctual. When the meeting says 10:00, to log in at that time, not 1 minute late. Also log in at sharp time. Try to work on that. It's very much required. Okay, now the more important one, okay, is your attitude. And guys, I have rejected many people because of their attitude. Technically सब pass करके आ जाते, but attitude के basis पे देखो, one important thing, in the team we have to work with other team members, and that's where your attitude matters. Okay, being down to earth, always sharing, giving, caring when others are in problem, trying to solve their problems. Okay, so this is nothing but always down to earth, not like getting angry on people, not getting frustrated, and always humble. Okay, respecting one another. So that's the attitude. Okay, and you need to, it's a special quality. Okay, you guys will be, अरे ये तो basic है, ये तो होना चाहिए, right? It doesn't happen always. Many people, they think I'm technically so much good. Now they get ego rises. If you start becoming good, your ego starts boosting. Are, how can you tell that to me? Like, I have worked on this project for like 2 years. I know better than you. You're a new joiner. How can you tell all these things to me? Ego starts coming. That means you're having a poor attitude. Okay. If you cannot respect other individual, if you're putting them down, if you're not giving opportunities, all that is attitude problem. Okay. And it has bigger consequences. So always be humble, down to earth, caring, sharing, and that's how you should be throughout your life. Doesn't matter how big you become, how great you become. Okay, how much money you make, how much positions you have, does not matter. Your attitude should always be like humble, caring, honest, genuine. It has to be like this. Okay, and the more you do it, it will be better. Okay, so these are some qualities. Now the thing is, becoming the over and all professional. With regards to that, guys, try to have all of these additional packaging. Your technical skills should be good. On top of that, you should be an honest person. On top of that, you should be having a great attitude. You should be a great team player. Okay, you have to always think team ka growth hona chahiye. Along with me, my team should grow. My project should grow. Only when you have that thought, then okay. I was reading this somewhere ki the entire life is structured ki only those will become successful in the end which always thinks about win-win situation. You should also win, the other person should also win. Only such people will be able to become great in their future. Okay, all these big products, right? Amazon, they want their customers to win, like fast delivery, because customer is having huge value, they also are rising accordingly. Okay, so it's all about that service though, and win-win situations. Always think in that manner. Don't try to pull people back. Don't try to like play politics and drop them down, because everything is going to be short term. Life is like next 30-40 years game. Ups and downs will happen, but be genuine, be honest, be transparent. A lot of results will come. Okay, so just be that. Okay, so fine. Though this is what is like the kind of a person that you should be in IT industry or any career for that sake. Okay, so start working on these things, whatever we learned today. Okay, it's very much required. Be a star or a B level person. Okay, if you are moved out of the project can collapse. You should be that important for the project, and not like politically you created that kind of importance. It's like you care so much for the system. Okay, you cannot be removed. When anybody is in struggle, you are the go-to resource. You go and you solve all their problems. You want to develop the system from the best standards, best things. Extreme ownership you have to take. That's what is the first mindset that you need to have. A and a B player, extreme ownership, whether others tell you to do that or not, you have to self learn, go and do it. That's the first mindset which you need to have. Second, start working on your communication right from today onwards. If you see that there is an area of improvement there, okay, all the aspects, how you look, how you speak, and how you write, all three are very important aspect. Everything has its own value. It is just the starting point today. You need to accordingly get started. Practice, 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 it will come. Okay, we already said the techniques. Mirror ke samne start reading your book. That will help your vocabulary, your confidence, your speaking, your voice, everything will be corrected. Writing 15 minutes mein, instead of explaining, write it down, and after that read it again, whether you are really understanding the meaning of that. Okay, a bit grammatical here and there is fine. Okay, and all these tools, emails and all, spell checker aata hai, and they just guide you as well. So it's fine. The tools are already very mature there, so don't worry about that. But meaning of your words should go properly. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. uh, there are some companies, they have made communication round as mandatory for filtering the candidates in the organization. Interview process mein mandatory communication rounds. There are automated tools available which will ask you question, you tell your entire answer verbally, and that tool is going to analyze how much good, and they will score you out of 10. So there are tools developed like this as well. Okay, so which will, and communication is becoming that important. I have heard from some senior people, okay, ki if person is not good in communication, don't hire them, because all our projects are like client facing projects. So we have to talk to our clients. If you see a person cannot talk, don't hire them. So it's that important. So start working on that. Okay, that's the second area. Third is try to be over and all complete person. So core principles, punctuality, integrity, your attitude, always be like that. Never think that you have grown and become like very great in your life. Don't let your ego feed and make you do horrible things in your life. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's the day one related inputs. Start working on that. Evolve your personality right from today onwards. Start thinking different. Don't waste your time after mediocre people. They will end up in mediocrity, and if you hang out around with such people, they will also, you will be pulled in the same zone. Okay, complaints, excuses, no blame game. Okay, somebody said ki if you really want to evaluate your life, if let's say a tree represents your life, there will be a lot of goods, lot of bad. Okay, but all the core is, if you are giving excuses about your life, everything else is a result of excuse giving nature. If you always complain and always give excuses, that's it. After that, that's the core. If you fix this problem, your entire life will be sorted. Okay, the core of your life will be, do you give excuses when you fail, and do you complain about every small thing of your life? And you have to fix this problem. No complaints, take ownership and try to do it. No blame game, because of this, because of that. Life happens, take it and move on. So that's the core of life. If you are not giving excuses, taking that ownership, no complaints about life, you will be a very happy person and a more successful person. Okay, so always, now when you talk, see, are you complaining? वो खुद ही लग जाएगा. Are you complaining? Are you blaming others? Are you blaming, let's say, COVID? Are you blaming XYZ situations for not getting a job? And if that is your attitude, it's a very big problem. Just know it. We have to change our mindset. Okay, so fine team, this is what it is, and just apply today's session. Tomorrow is going to be a very much practical action item based session. Okay, so there will be practical action items, and how you should perform on a day-to-day basis at your work. and it's going to be again like very insightful, both from process perspective, tech perspective as well. Okay, okay, and absorb and let's apply, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Carry some value and like change lives, people. Okay, apply some changes in your life, you will find a lot of growth will start coming. Okay. Chalo, 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 everyone. Have a nice day and see you guys, all those coming up tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Let's meet up for meditation, everyone. Okay.